Hello and welcome to a game between LiquidTLO and ALTA. LiquidTLO will be playing as the red Protoss. He actually spawned as random and he will be at the 6 o'clock position. His opponent, ALTA, will be playing as the blue Terran player at the 3 o'clock position. And ooh, look at that. Without any hesitation, LiquidTLO actually discloses his race. Whenever I play as random, which is quite often, and when someone asks me, hey, what's your race? I go, why are you so racist? And then we start this whole discussion on artificial intelligence and whether or not robots should have the right to vote. And both these players are having a relatively high APM for such few units. I don't really know what they're clicking on at this moment, and most of the time with my games I just sit there and go, what do I do next? Because that's how fast my thinking is. And one pylon is going up at the top of the ramps, not really near the entrance, which is not something you want to do against Terran. You don't really want to wall off that ramp. And ALTA is going to be plugging away the holes. He does have one supply depot building here in the back. This will help him sort of protect his SCVs from any Zealot drops should they occur. And of course there are additional holes over here and also over here, not those kind of holes. And there is going to be a gateway, a forge, or an assimilator. A gateway coming online, and LiquidTLO, even though he probably disclosed his race, is going to go and scout anyway because his opponent is going to know his Protoss unless he is lying. Most of the time he was not going to lie, I suspect. Refinery along with assimilator going up for both these players. As we take a look at the army size, relatively the same, 14-15, and barracks coming out, and two more SCVs are being constructed, and LiquidTLO will get inside the base of his opponent at this time. Does take two shots at that SCV, and another SCV does show up. Now these two things are fighting. One cool thing about the Protoss race is their shields do regenerate, so he is going to break off the fight here for a bit until he can regenerate the shield, possibly, and the gateway is about to be finished along with the barracks. His shield is replenishing and he might re-engage that SCV. SCV is fully mining gas, and this SCV is at 20 health, 15, 10, 5. Ooh, he's only at 10, my bad, not 5. And he is going to get another stab, and this probe does have one kill and will be running away from that SCV. I'm surprised he didn't pull off an additional SCV to try to cut that probe off. And Orbital Command is coming in along with the Cyber Core, and this Marine might be able to end this probe's life as the probe is still dancing. Both these players are actually looking on this screen, which is quite surprising. Probe trying to get out, second Marine on the way for Zealot out on the way. 1-1 kill there, but more scouting information for LiquidTLO as he sees his opponent does have one set of barracks and one refinery. And his opponent is just getting to the base, and he does have one SCV just standing idle here. He just found the Cyber Core, and one Zealot will be chasing that SCV. SCV is much quicker than the Zealot though. Zealot really needs that speed upgrade earlier in my opinion. Just kidding, you don't really need it. He's a really good tank. And there's going to be 3 Marines guarding the top of the ramps for ALTA, as ALTA is going to be falling back with the SCV. Good scouting there. He did find his opponent is going to be on one gas as well. Neither of these players going on with the second gas yet, and there's the second hole to be plugged. SCV moving back into the base. There will be one factory along with one barracks going up. And at this time, LiquidTLO is only going to go with one gateway, and he only has one Stalker and one Zealot. He is chrono boosting the Nexus, getting a heavier economy and a quicker, better economy. Marines coming in here with some Zealots and Stalkers, and he does take one shot at each Marine, and the Marauder spawns just in time. Marauder will be able to take down the Stalker relatively well, but the shots were being wasted on the Zealots. He does take down the Zealot, but this Marauder is very, very close to death. Only about, I think, 1 or 2 more shots from the Stalker will be able to kill him. This Stalker does have one kill already. We'll be getting a second kill. That Zealot and Stalker pressure is very, very good. Warp Gate is finally being researched along with the second gas being open for LiquidTLO at this moment. He is still inside his base, and LiquidTLO is going to try to go for some SCV kills. This SCV is going to go down. He gets one additional kill. Very nice play there by LiquidTLO, but he is not going to make it quick enough with the sentry, and he will have to follow back army sizes at 30 versus 32. And it looks like ALTA is going to reapply some counter pressure, and 2 additional gateways going up. There's only really one gateway out, and there's only one sentry on the field for LiquidTLO. TL is in a lot of trouble as he does get one Stalker out, and the sentry does go down, I think unnecessarily, because he might not have wanted to send that out. And Stalkers are relatively strong against these Hellions, but not so much for the Marauders. He does have 3 Marauders and 2 Hellions, whereas LiquidTLO only has 2 Stalkers. TL wants to hold this, and I think he's leaving the Nexus, not canceling it, so his opponent would spend more and more time, because if his opponent were to come in, he would be able to finish this game, I suspect. And Stalkers coming out, trying to do some more harassment, trying to delay him from taking down the Nexus. Additional Marines, Marauders being produced at this moment. One bunker going up near the Nexus, and these Hellions are still trying to get a shot onto the Stalker. Stalker at full HP, but some of the shields have been depleted. The Nexus is buying TLO a lot of time, and TLO is going to open a 4th gateway. He needs to defend here. He is going to probably lose that Nexus. Army size is at 40 against 43. More and more units being warped in for TLO at this moment. He is chrono boosting those gateways, warp gates I mean, and he is going to take down that SCV, and he does keep all of his Stalkers very, very healthy. Their shields will regenerate them momentarily, and this bunker is still up, and he is going to come out trying to probably focus fire. Ooh, he looked like he might not have been able to make up his mind. There's 4 gateways, and army size 44, 47, and there's 6 Stalkers versus 5 Marauders, 3 Hellions, and some Marines. This is not looking good for TLO. TLO is warping in additional units. He does have more and more units. I think ALTA should have focused fire on this unit as he's warping in, because the units are very, very weak, and you can see the HP getting up and up and up from that position. So I think he might have been able to kill off that Stalker, and I think that 1-2 Stalkers might have made a difference. More and more units still spawning at this moment, but the Protoss player TLO looks like he might have been able to hold off this charge, and dancing back and forth with the Stalkers. Very nice play there, allowing him to deplete the shield before finally going in for the kill perhaps. A lot more buildings being constructed at this moment for the Terran player. He does have 2 barracks and 1 factory at this moment, and this bunker is going to go down. 2 Marines going to go down as well. 4 gateway out on the field for TLO. Some of these units are getting into a very defensive position, and there's going to be 1 command center as well. Wow, that was a very, very quick and nasty first couple of minutes, and an additional hole was being plugged. He is still missing this hole. In any event, more and more Stalkers are being warped in. I think this is going to be a very Stalker heavy game, and this probe is going to check out his opponent to see if he has gotten the expansion, and he will see that it's not yet been had. Unit composition: 5 Stalkers, 2 sentries versus 3 Marauders, a lot more Marines, and the first tank is out. The tank does not yet have siege tech, and it is being researched. STEM is about to be finished as well. And there's 1 tech lab attached to barracks, and another one to a reactor. And I think TLO is relatively happy that he held off that charge, and that is a lot of probes. If you take a look at the number of probes, he does have 38 over the Terran's 27. And the Terran player is going to... Wow, that's a huge transfer. I'm not sure if he meant to do that big of an amount. That is a lot of SCVs being transferred to the new base. That is a lot of mining time he is missing out. You can see here his mineral income did drop quite a bit there for about 10 or so seconds, and he will be going up momentarily. Blink is being researched, and it is going to be chrono boosted as well, as LiquidTLO needs to be in defensive positioning. He does have hallucination, does get the Phoenix, and sees what his opponents had. Tanks are going to be sieging. He probably does not want to engage the tanks. He is going to try to kill off some units before they can regroup. And LiquidTLO again under heavy pressure from his opponent. Double bunkers are going up. He is going to go to high ground and try to snipe off 1 tank. A scan goes off. Not great positioning. Oh, he loses 2 Stalkers. 3rd Stalker is going to go down as well. 4 Stalkers. He lost 4 Stalkers to that 1 scan. 2 tanks. He actually only killed 1 tank, I mean. And he is going to try to snipe at some of these units again. And we might see another scan. The scan goes off. The Stalkers blink away very, very smartly. There are some very good units here. These are very defensive units. You can use a force field, have the Zealots take some damage, and army composition for both these players are looking very, very in favor of ALTA at the moment. He does have 2 tanks. He has a lot of Marauders and Marines, whereas LiquidTLO only has mostly Stalkers. Stalkers can't really do too much, and I think the Stalkers are going to come back from the back, and he is going to go into the base. You can keep track of the Terran army at the lower right-hand corner, as LiquidTLO is going to go in here and go for some kills. SCV's running away. He does get 1 kill, and meanwhile, in the base of LiquidTLO, ALTA is absolutely making a lot of trouble, and he's killing off a lot of units, forcing LiquidTLO to pull back as well. These SCVs are getting into the fight as well, and I think ALTA is focusing a little bit more inside his own pace. He is just momentarily pushing in now. Some Marines being spawned here, but I think LiquidTLO's pressure has been relatively good. He is able to hold off a lot of the units still near the chokehold of his base. And LiquidTLO is going to lose his couple of Stalkers here as we flip back to the Terran army. He is inside the base. He does have 2 tank siege at the bottom, and he's trying to push in slowly. He does kill off one of those gateways. Stalkers blink forward. The Stalkers will be able to take down 1 tank. 2nd tank is going to go down. This siege tank cannot shoot directly next to them, and these Stalkers will, does lose additional Stalker there. Army size at 52 versus 35. LiquidTLO is in a good position here, as he is going to be able to hold this off possibly. He does have about 3-4 Stalkers on both sides, harassing. Great effort by TLO, but this warp gate is empowered. He only has 2 gateways, warp gates, I mean, powered at this moment army size. This is at 47 versus 25. The Terran player is hurting slightly more as his income has been taking a significant hit. Inside of his base, he does have 4 barracks. Two of them are missing add-ons. Maybe that was on purpose, and Orbital Command is going to fly back to his base because he suspects that TLO is going to be pushing forward once again. And TLO does manage to defend successfully for the second time. He does have some stalkers. He has 5 stalkers now. He might be thinking about doing some sort of harassment as these probes are sitting very idle as he's rebuilding his base. He does have 3 warp gates, opening up his 4th one now. There's a lot of pylons being placed around the base because he did lose quite a bit of those pylons. Army size is 55 against 41 as the Terran player is needing to turtle quite a bit now because he does not have an advantage just yet. However, he is not mining gas. He's fully mining minerals. He knows that he is behind. He knows he's lost a lot more SCVs than his opponent. I think he was focusing a little bit more in his own base instead of inside the base of his opponent. That's what caused him to lose so many more SCVs than his opponent, TLO. TLO in a very defensive position directly outside, preventing his opponent from taking the natural expansion. As additional gateways are going to be open. There's going to be a total of 5 gateways momentarily as... Is that correct? Ooh, I think for a moment there, ALTA wanted to try to land directly on top. Maybe that is a bug. Let me know if you can actually hover over with the orbital command to see if your opponent has already taken that base. I'm not sure if that is a bug or a glitch. I mean, through the fog of war, so let me know if you guys do know about that. And we see a blind charge by ALTA here. He does not have the tank siege, and blinking away from stem units is what you want to do because that will allow them to take damage and you not so much because, ooh, very, very nice snipe there. Does snipe a couple of units. He did lose 1 or 2 stalkers there though. And ALTA is going to fly his orbital command over and not actually going to farm the secondary expansion. He is probably going to use this to maintain sight of the high ground, and these siege tanks are not siege at the moment. He still does not yet have vision. He does have vision now with the orbital command. Tanks are sieging, but I think it might be a little bit too late as some of these probes are getting into the midst of the action as well, and Stalker Heavy Army is going to be able to annihilate ALTA's forces. Additional Marines showing up. Rally point misset, not really attacking anything, and now they're finally attacking. Army size at 35 versus 44. Advantage now for the Terran player as he is going to lose some of these units as well, so about that even, I would say. Exactly dead even, 36 to 36, and his opponent is not mining on that base, even though with those mules he does have an income advantage over TLO. TLO is trying to shoot down this orbital command. Additional reinforcements are coming for ALTA. They're sieging up. Will he be able to take down this? Ooh, he does take down that final Stalker. Stalker's going forward, wanting to take that now siege tank, but there is infantry support, so he does have to fall back. Both these players are probably not wanting to play this game or expecting to play this game at this stage. There's a total of 5 gateways, most of them unused at this moment. The cooldowns are not depleted. Probe count is going to be 28, SCV count going to be 21, and this is going to be a very, very healthy boost for ALTA as he will be able to get a rush of minerals very, very quickly. Army sizes at 44 against 56. Unit composition, mostly stalkers. One of those things are going to be a sentry and a very, very heavy Marine. Marine do have their upgrade combat shield, giving them an additional 10 HP along with the siege tank. And both these players are still massing a lot of units, and as you can see here, there is still no attachment to 2 of those barracks because I guess he does not want to risk the gas. He really wants to use that gas on those tanks, and he does finally put those SCVs back on the gas line there. And we see a push here from ALTA, and I think LiquidTLO will be able to spot this because he is on the tower. Stalkers wanting to take out that tank but will not be able to, and one Stalker might have blink to the incorrect place, but I think he should be okay as he's trying to run away. LiquidTLO is trying to manage his units very, very carefully, and this Stalker needs to blink away before he takes the tower, and ooh, he actually gets a few more shots on his opponent. This is a very nice control by LiquidTLO as he's taking more and more units away from his opponent, but the problem is he is down at 58, 56, 54 now against 75, and he only has 9 Stalkers and 1 sentry against a rather large army of Marauders, tanks, and Marines, a lot of Marines, 24 Marines, and we might see a sandwich here, and looks like he is not going to. There's 1 tank siege up in the back, I believe, and these Stalkers are trying to hold off here. The siege tank will siege, and the probes are forced to go back. Maybe he should have sent some of those probes forward, but he actually has no minerals in his own base. And I think he will be able to take down this Nexus. A lot of Stalkers. This is the most of TLO's force. He does take down one tank. He is going to run into a siege tank that just sieging at this moment. And LiquidTLO is going to run into it. And he GG's. I think he might have had a chance. Not quite sure there. But he had absolutely no income. And his opponent was going to take this natural expansion as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to me at youtube.com/ggyourface. And all the holes were not plugged. See you guys at the next game.